All right, buckle up, because we are diving deep today.
Deep.
Into your notes on the Ashtavakra Gita.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, chapters 8 through 32.
Okay.
We're talking quieting the mind, dissolving the ego,
Right.
and finding that true joy.
Yeah.
Which, let's be honest, most of us are still searching for.
Always.
It's not your average self-help book, that's for sure.
No, and that's what makes it so fascinating. The Ashtavakra Gita doesn't waste time, you know?
Right.
With like pleasantries, it just dives right into the core
Yeah.
of what keeps us from experiencing true peace
Absolutely.
and happiness.
You clearly dove deep into this text.
Yeah.
Your notes are packed with insights.
Yeah.
Like right away in chapter 8, Ashtavakra compares the mind to a horse with blinders on. You highlighted that. What struck you about that?
Well, it's just such a vivid image, isn't it?
Yeah.
This horse just laser focused on the path ahead,
Right.
you know, totally oblivious to like the vastness all around it. And it's
Right.
like a mirror, you know,
Yeah.
reminding us that our perspective, which is like often, you know, very limited, dictated by the mind's focus, it prevents us from seeing the bigger picture,
Right.
that infinite potential that's within us and all around us.
No wonder we feel stuck.
Yeah.
You know, we're so focused on what's right in front of us.
Right.
We miss everything else.
Exactly.
And then you highlighted another passage about a king and queen who both realize they only truly love themselves. That stopped me in my tracks. It feels almost counterintuitive to the concept of love.
Yeah, yeah. It challenges everything we think we know about love, right?
Yeah.
But that's exactly the point
Yeah.
that Ashtavakra is making, is that so much of our experience is filtered through this lens of me and mine.
Right.
You know, we love others, but it's often through this lens of how they make us feel.
Right.
How they satisfy our needs.
Yeah. And you pointed out how the king, upon hearing the queen's confession, bows to her.
Right.
That there's a real power in that surrender.
It's true.
It's not weakness,
No.
but like a deep understanding and acceptance.
Totally.
Okay, so we need to surrender this ego, this me and mine mentality, but how? Chapters 11 and 12. You have this really interesting analogy about the mind as a businessman. You even wrote, love is the opposite. In the margins.
Yeah, yeah.
Tell me more about that.
Well, it's like this perfect way of describing it, because Ashtavakra is painting this picture of the mind constantly looking for profit, even in spirituality.
Yeah.
Like even when we think we're being spiritual, it's making deals like, if I do this good deed, then I'll get that reward.
Right.
If I meditate for this long, I'll achieve that state of bliss. It's a transaction, and it keeps us trapped in that cycle of desire.
So the mind can't even comprehend an interaction that's not a transaction.
It seems like it, right?
It's always about gain.
Yeah.
Even when we think we're being selfless.
It's
And you're saying that true love is the complete opposite of that.
Yes, absolutely. Love in its purest form. It's about giving without expectation, acting from a place of genuine compassion.
Yeah.
You know, selflessness.
Not about what you get in return, but the joy of giving itself.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm starting to see how clinging to that business deal mentality can really hold us back
Yeah,
from experiencing true joy and connection.
for sure.
But if our minds are so hardwired for this kind of transaction, how do we break free?
Right?
I feel like I'm constantly battling these waves of emotion.
Oh, yeah, you bring up a great point, and one that you highlighted in your notes, actually.
Oh, yeah.
About how trying to control our emotions is like trying to stop waves on the ocean with our bare hands. We can, you know, try to suppress them, push them down, whatever you want to do.
Right.
But they just keep coming back.
They always resurface.
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting.
And it doesn't work.
It never really works.
Yeah.
So what's the alternative?
Right.
If we can't control these emotional waves, how do we stop them from capsizing us?
Okay, well, we got to ride the waves.
Okay.
You can't just stop them from coming.
Yeah, that's what's so powerful about that image, right? It's like, it reminds us we can't fight against these natural ebbs and flows
A part of life.
of emotion.
Yeah.
You actually highlighted a passage about standing with open arms and taking whatever comes. That feels like true surrender, but it also sounds terrifying.
Right.
How do we practically live that way?
It starts with understanding that those waves, those emotions, they're not our enemies.
Okay.
They're just part of the experience.
Right.
And fighting them just creates more suffering,
Mm-hmm.
Ashtavakra would say.
Yeah.
The key is to observe those waves, like to witness them without getting swept away.
Okay, so if we're not trying to control them or suppress those emotions,
Yeah.
what are we doing? How do we actually ride the waves without getting pulled under?
You highlighted a technique in your notes that addresses this, Kriya.
Yeah.
You had several passages marked about it.
I did.
Even comparing it, like the stillness of deep sleep.
Honestly, it sounded impossible.
Right.
Sleep is sleep. Our minds are still active, even if we don't remember our dreams. How can we possibly achieve that level of stillness while we're awake, going about our day?
That's the beauty of Kriya, right?
Okay.
It's not about erasing all thoughts, but it's about shifting from that constant mental chatter to a deeper state of inner stillness. So it's about creating space around those those waves of emotion, so they no longer have the power to control us.
You're making me think about that note I made, how even the laziest person can't stay completely still. There's always some movement, some activity.
Right.
So Kriya isn't about becoming completely blank. It's about calming that inner whirlwind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's another powerful way to cultivate that inner stillness, and it relates to a distinction you made in your notes between wonder and curiosity. What stood out to you about that comparison?
That was a real aha moment. I love how Ashtavakra uses the image of a monkey with pearls.
Right.
So curious about them, but ultimately unable to grasp their true value. It made me realize how much of my life I've spent chasing after things, seeking knowledge or experiences without truly appreciating their essence.
Without being present with them, right? Just wanting more.
Yeah. It's like the difference between approaching life from what's in it for me versus, wow, this is incredible.
Right. Curiosity comes from the mind, right? That desire to know, to possess, to control.
Yeah.
But wonder, that arises from the heart, from a place of openness, awe, gratitude.
Like that example you pointed out, the bird using fireflies to light its nest. Such a simple thing.
It's beautiful.
But it's like this sense of wonder at the beauty and ingenuity of nature. It's a reminder that magic exists all around us.
It does.
If we just open our eyes and our hearts to see it.
Absolutely.
And that openness, that sense of wonder, naturally leads to a quieter mind.
Yeah.
When we're fully present in the moment, appreciating the beauty around us.
Yes.
The mental chatter tends to fade away. We create space for that inner stillness to emerge.
It's true.
So it's not about forcing ourselves to stop thinking, but about shifting our focus.
Yes.
Cultivating a sense of wonder and appreciation for the world around us, which makes me think of another seemingly counterintuitive point. You highlighted the idea that even negativity serves a purpose.
Yeah.
How can something that causes us pain and suffering actually be a good thing?
It's all about perspective.
Okay.
Think back to that story you marked about Shiva drinking the poison to save the world. He didn't deny the poison. He didn't run from it.
Right.
He embraced it. He transformed it into something beneficial.
So instead of seeing these challenging experiences as like setbacks or punishments, we can view them as opportunities for growth and transformation.
Exactly. The world is a mirror. It's reflecting back to us what we need to see to evolve. So all those irritations and frustrations, moments of doubt and despair, those can be powerful catalysts for self-discovery.
Okay.
They push us to look deeper within, to confront those aspects of ourselves that are holding us back from true peace and joy.
It's like those irritations are little wake-up calls.
We are.
Jolting us out of our complacency. Reminding us there's work to be done. So instead of getting caught up in the annoyance, we can ask ourselves, what is this experience here to teach me? How can I use it to grow?
Yes. And that shift in perspective from complaint to curiosity can be incredibly empowering.
I'm trying to reframe my morning commute now. Traffic jams, opportunities for patience and mindfulness.
There you go.
Construction delays, chances to appreciate the hard work of others.
Right.
It's a work in progress.
It is.
But I see what you mean.
It's a practice, for sure.
Yeah.
But the more we approach these situations with curiosity and a willingness to learn, the more we can transform them from sources of suffering into opportunities for growth and self-discovery.
So we talked about Kriya, cultivating wonder, reframing negativity. What other gems did you unearth from these chapters?
Let's see.
And it's funny, right? We're talking about all this like deep spiritual stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking about how even in our pursuit of spirituality, that old transactional mindset can still creep in.
Oh, totally.
Like you can't escape it.
I'm remembering that point you highlighted about the mind as a businessman, always looking for a deal, even in our spiritual practices.
Absolutely. Like we can't just turn it off.
Yeah. Instead of just acting from a place of genuine generosity or selflessness,
right,
it becomes about what I get out of it.
Totally. What's in it for me?
But you highlighted a quote from chapter 11 that really landed with me.
Okay.
Love is giving everything and taking nothing. That feels like the antidote, right?
It is. It really is, because true love doesn't, keep score, doesn't expect anything back.
Right.
It's about giving freely from a place of,
abundance, no strings attached.
Which kind of brings us back to that sense of wonder we were talking about. Approaching life with that childlike sense of awe can open us up to a deeper experience of the divine. Right. Could you elaborate on that?
Well, when we're caught up in that transactional mindset, our focus is so narrow. We're so busy, like, trying to figure out the rules.
Right, yeah.
The price of happiness.
Like we're trying to earn it.
Yes.
Like a merit badge.
Just like we're trying to get something from it.
Yeah.
When really it's about just being present with the miracle of it all.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's like we forget to appreciate the journey.
Yes, exactly.
We're so busy trying to get to the destination.
It's like we're missing it. It's happening right now.
Yeah, yeah. And it's funny how he uses that image again of the monkey with the pearls. It's like,
so focused on like analyzing, picking it apart instead of just being like, wow, these are beautiful.
This is a miracle.
Yeah.
So it's about approaching our spiritual practices and life itself, really.
It's all connected.
Not as a problem to be solved, but like a mystery to be explored with open hearts and minds.
Exactly. That's it.
Like when you gaze up at a star-filled sky,
yeah.
you feel that sense of awe and wonder.
Yeah, you feel small, but also a part of it all.
Yeah. It takes you out of your head, out of that limited sense of self.
Absolutely.
It connects you.
It connects us to something bigger that we can't even really understand.
There's one more passage I want to touch on from your notes.
Okay.
Chapter 18, this image of the waves on the ocean. You even wrote, stand there with your arms open, take all that comes with both your hands. What a powerful call to action.
Yeah.
But what does it mean to you?
Well, life is going to happen, right?
Yeah.
We can't control it. It's like the ocean.
Right.
It's just going to have waves.
So it's not about trying to create a life free from challenges or difficulties?
No, because that's impossible.
Because that's impossible.
We're going to have those.
We have to ride those waves.
We do, but we can learn to ride them.
With grace, with a little more ease.
So instead of resisting those difficult experiences or wishing them away.
Yeah, like we usually do.
We learn to meet them with open arms, with a sense of acceptance and gratitude.
Gratitude for the lessons, because there's always something to learn.
That's where the growth is, right?
Exactly.
Wow. This has been a deep dive.
It has.
I feel like I've learned so much.
Me too.
Going through your notes on the Ashtavakra Gita.
It's so rich.
It's incredible how these ancient teachings still resonate today.
They do.
And provide such profound wisdom for navigating, modern life, right?
Out of it.
To our listener. I encourage you to continue diving deep into these teachings. Yes.
Explore these concepts. Discover how they resonate with you.
It's a journey.
It is a journey.
And it's yours.
This has been amazing.
It has. Thank you.
Thank you.
For diving in with me.
And thank you for listening.